Good morning. Welcome to P&B Sports Show. I'm Aro Kotom. On today's show, we are going to be discussing the UEFA Champions League and the quarterfinals match that's going to be played today between Arsenal and Real Madrid. And for that, we are going to have two guests, two sports analysts, and they are going to dissect and analyze these teams, which is Arsenal and Real Madrid. They are going to tell us what they think the outcome is going to be and what will give each team the edge if they are going to take the first leg of the quarterfinals. But before we talk about that, let's go on a short break. So sit tight, grab your popcorn, and don't go anywhere. Welcome back, as we're going to be having two guests, which are sports analysts from different parts of Nigeria. We have Mr. Walter Odige from Lagos, and we have Mr. Osedion Leo in Abuja. And they are going to be talking about the UEFA Champions League and the first leg of the quarterfinals, which is going to be between Arsenal and Real Madrid. So they are going to be telling us what their views are on this match. Mr. Walter, how are you doing? And how is Lagos?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm doing very well this morning, and Lagos is pretty cool this morning also.
That's great. But Abuja is quite hot.
Lagos is cool this morning.
Okay. Mr. Osedion, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, listeners. I'm doing well, and of course, Abuja is really hot. It's sunny weather, and well, it's still cool. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. That's lovely. That's lovely. So we are going to be diving into the match today, which is going to be by 8 p.m. between Arsenal and Real Madrid. But I want you people to start with Arsenal. What do you think will give Arsenal the edge if they are to win this match today? Mr.
Well, I
Walt?
would say,
Okay, I can hear you, Mr. Osedion.
yeah, I would say the only reason Arsenal can actually have the edge over Real Madrid today is if their defense can be well organized. Arsenal has a good defensive record, but due to the fact that they've been plagued with injury this season, so it's going to be very hard today because I think they lost one of their key defender during I think their last game or last two games. So I don't know who is going to deputize for him. It's going to be difficult, but I think their defense is way better than that of Real Madrid. So with the help of a good defense, Arsenal can have that slight edge over Real Madrid.
Okay. That's amazing. Mr. Walter, I like your diverse takes on Arsenal and basically Real Madrid. I think we've spoken about Real Madrid once before, but now I want you to tell me, what do you think will give Arsenal the ability to win this match today?
Like my colleague pointed out, so Arsenal have to, they have to show up their defense. They have to, because that is the only part I think they have an edge over Real Madrid. Player for player, I think Madrid even have a better defense than Arsenal. But it's not about the players now; it's about the organization. The defense does not just start at the two central back, left back, and right back. The defense starts as the team structure and the team organization. So I think that is the only place Arsenal have a bit of an edge over Real Madrid. But I think apart from the defense, I think where Arsenal will stand any chance if they are to be clinical. I know the defense people are looking at the defense, but listen, you cannot stop Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Bellian, Valverde. You cannot stop those guys for 90 minutes. It's not possible. You will try, you will do your best, but you will lose concentration a few moments. You will lose your game plan for a moment. And these guys are the best there is in terms of ability, in terms of talent, in terms of skill set, in terms of what they can do in their positions. So these guys will hurt you. They will surely break you. They will surely catch you off guard one or two moments. So for me, yeah, in as much as they need to be defensively tight, I think Arsenal needs to be clinical. They need to take their chance. They cannot afford to be wasteful against Madrid today. They just can't afford to be wasteful. They cannot see the chances and start missing it. No. If they are clinical, imagine Arsenal in the first 10 minutes, get that chance and they score. Yes, that would be the bedrock for the defense. That would give them a much calmer atmosphere. That would take off the pressure off them. That would make them believe more, and that will help them defensively and help them stop Madrid and also potentially score more goals. So I think Arsenal needs to be clinical, very clinical. They need to take their chances. If they are creating 4, 5 chances today, they need to score 3 for them to stand a chance against this Real Madrid side.
Okay. That's lovely. Mr. Osedion, like as we can see, Arsenal have, like, this is the only thing that they have to fight for. The Champions League is the only competition and championship that they have to fight for. Unlike Real Madrid, who might possibly win a treble this season. But do you think that because this is the only thing that they have to fight for, that they are going to put their all in it and Arteta's men can come out and show the world that they are up for the task, even with having a lot of players on injury?
To be very honest, I think Arsenal does not have a chance. Why am I saying this is you can see from their performance in the league this season. Yes, I know they've been having issues with injured players, but sometimes when they have to win matches, they just go blank. There's no effort, there's no grit to actually say, okay, this game, let's take it upon ourselves to get the 3 points. You see, Arsenal lost points where they were supposed to win games this season. So I won't just use that injury as the yardstick for them to like, okay, they will actually let's leave. Let's just say because of those injuries, they won't be able to play well against Madrid. It's just Arsenal has not really gotten it well this season. Yes, this is the only competition left for them, and I don't know what their game plan is today, but I know they'll give it a try, but I don't think they'll be able to overpower Madrid. They say the best form of defense is attack. The only way Arsenal can actually hit Madrid hard is through set pieces, because Madrid, they are very vulnerable with set pieces. So maybe that might just give Arsenal that momentum in today's game. And it's going to be played over 2 legs. So let's see what will happen at the Emirates. If they can get a good result here, then maybe why not? They can have a good fighting chance at the Bernabeu.
Okay.
So let's see. Only competition left for Arsenal. Let's see if they'll be able to pull through.
Okay. Mr. Walter Odige, Mr. Osedion rightly said that Real Madrid, they are vulnerable when it comes to set pieces. If you were the coach of Arsenal, what do you think that you would do different today? Like if you are Arteta, what do you think that you would do different today to make sure that Arsenal comes up with this win?
Like he said that they are vulnerable with set pieces. So if I'm Arsenal coach, if there's one thing that that is Arsenal's strength, Arsenal's biggest strength is the set pieces. I remember there was a time this season they were called Corner FC, they were called Set Pieces FC, and all of that. So yes,
Set
Madrid
pieces
weakness
FC.
is Arsenal. Madrid weakness is obviously Arsenal's strength. So yeah, if I'm Mikel Arteta, I'll be telling them, I think they'll focus more during the week training, focus on set pieces, focus on what's it called now, on corners, on free kicks, and on different set kind of set pieces. So they need to take advantage of that because Madrid are actually vulnerable when it comes to set pieces and when it comes to counter attack. Yeah, Madrid can Madrid can switch. They can switch off. I watched a game against Valencia, and the goal that they considered in the 96th minute was his very good counter-attacking goal. You understand? So Madrid switched off, and their opponents, hit them on the counter, and that's just Madrid's biggest problem. But that being said, if I'm Mikel Arteta, I think what I would do, to try to win this game today. I think this game would be won more mentally than the physical. It's not going to be a game that is going to be the 90 minutes is not yet the game will be won or lost for us now. It's not that. I think it's the preparation, what their mental health or what their mind has been prepped to do. You understand? I
Yes.
feel this game, Arsenal does not need to go and show Madrid too much respect. They don't need to go and be too respectful, be too humble to Real Madrid, and that's 1, 2. They don't need to go and be too confident that we are in form, we are this, we are no. So they just need to go with the right set of the right type of mindset, and Madrid are there for the taking. But to be honest with you, it's going to be a difficult task because this thing it just takes Madrid to score early for what Arsenal have been preparing for to come to an end. It just takes one moment, one key moment. So I think concentration level needs to be very high today. And that being said, mentally, these players need to be ready for Arsenal to stand with a chance against Man today.
Okay, that's lovely. That's lovely. So, you said something about Arsenal, they have to be in the right frame of mind to win this. And I agree with you because we need Arsenal that if they are going to win this quarterfinals match, they have to know that they are playing against beasts and they have to act like beasts. They say when you are in the room, you act like the Romans. So, Mr. Osedion, we are going to be moving to the talk of Osimhen. And why hasn't Osimhen been brought into Arsenal? Because there were talks of him coming into Arsenal and Arsenal being the best fit for our own Victor Osimhen. You know, Osimhen, he rightly, like anybody will say, Victor Osimhen doesn't have a permanent team, but people want him in Arsenal, seeing that Arsenal has a lot of players that have injury, players like Gabriel Jesus, and they feel that Victor Osimhen will be the right fit for this team. What is your take on Victor Osimhen not being in Arsenal at the moment?
First of all, when a player is being linked with a club, it has to come from both ways, in the sense that is the club really wanting that player, or they're just looking for someone to just fill up that gap, or is the player interested in moving to that club? In the case of Osimhen, I think Arsenal were not clear on even getting a striker. They were having difficulties into getting number 9 because it was not their initial priority. So when they saw that the market was looking difficult, they couldn't place hold on any available striker for that affordable price that they had set for any striker. They had to hold on to the summer again. So I think the reason why Osimhen did not move to Arsenal was because he did not have that interest going to Arsenal. And Arsenal also saw it from their own point of view that maybe it's not the kind of striker they're actually looking for. Maybe what they want is a creative striker, not just about scoring goals, but you have to create chances. Like, I know, yes, he's doing so well at Galatasaray, but a lot of people say it's a farmers league that is bagging goals. If he comes to the Premier League, his goals might dry up and all that. So it's really hard to tell if he will be a good fit for Arsenal. But I believe he's a good striker, but I don't know. I don't think he'll be that clinical finisher Arsenal will be looking for. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Walter, your colleague just said that Victor Osimhen is not a creative striker. That he's all about scoring goals. Yes, but he's not creative. What is your take on that?
First off, the truth, I would like to say something. I don't know the high people use.
And please, can you be audible, Mr. Walter?
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I was saying I don't know the highs that people used to see Victor Osimhen, but one thing I can guarantee you, one thing I know about Osimhen is Osimhen will score you goals. When I say goals, I'm not just saying he will score you normal, he will score you all type of goals. Osimhen will score you header, Osimhen will score you shots, Osimhen will score you tricky goals from tight situations. Osimhen, as far as that goal scoring is concerned, I don't think there's any, although maybe because I have not watched other the way I've watched him, but I don't think there's any striker currently in the world, bar Ireland, that I can say guarantees 18 more goals. So that notion that I don't know if you come to the Premier League, the goals might dry up, I don't think is a valid notion. The only thing I can say about Osimhen is, will he stay fit? If he is injury free, if Osimhen is injury free, trust me, let's say he plays 30 Premier League games for Arsenal, he starts 30 Premier League games, that's a very good season in terms of injury and all of that. Osimhen will score minimum 25 goals for this Arsenal team. And that is what Arsenal are lacking. That goal scorer, that man that can score goals, that nine, that product. So I think it would have been a tremendous feat. Now, not just about the goals he would have brought to the team. Have you watched Osimhen play? Do you know about his mentality? Osimhen rubs off his mentality on his teammates. Osimhen is somebody that He's not that player that once his team is losing, he's dead. He doesn't know what to do. He's confused. He's crying. No, 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 no. As far that pitch, that 90 minutes is still on. Yeah, he can cry at the end of the game, but once that game is on, that 90 minutes, Osimhen is the person that, as a teammate, you have to look up to because his mentality is top, top. So apart from the goals he would have got with Arsenal, I think his mentality. Arsenal right now don't have those mental strong players. I'm looking at the captain Odegaard, soft man. I'm looking at some key players, soft guys. They don't have that person that I can say mentally wise is up there. And Osimhen is that guy. So he does so much. But trust me, this summer I expect him to come to the Premier League because Manchester United are interested. Arsenal are interested, Liverpool are interested, Chelsea are interested. So it's going to be a real battle, and the price I think is really cheap, £60 million. That's 70 million euros. Is release clause currently at Napoli. So that's a good price. And the only worry anyone should be worried about Victor Osimhen is, can he stay fit? He has proven to stay fit for Galatasaray this season, and you can see what he did. Same as Nigeria. You can see the difference he made for the team in the last AFCON World Cup qualifier, the last two games of the World Cup qualifiers, compared to the first 2, 3, 4 games we played. So his presence alone, even in the AFCON that he didn't score much, he was that his presence, what he brings to the team. He makes the opposition sit back because you cannot be caught one thing. It makes the opposition sit back. First of all, as a manager, when you are planning to play against a team that has a Victor Osimhen, you first of all need to think, how can we contain Osimhen? That alone disrupts your plans, disrupt your team tactics, disrupt your team selection, because you have to first plan for this guy before you before you play your own game. So yeah, I think he's a very, very, very he's the best for me after Haaland. He's that striker that guarantees you goals. I've seen people try to say Isak this, Isak that. Let me tell you something. I like Isak. Don't get me wrong. I believe he's a good striker.
Yes, I
But
do too.
he's nowhere near Victor Osimhen. I'm not saying this because I'm a Nigerian. I'm saying this for a fact. He's nowhere near Victor Osimhen. He is very, 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 very good. I look at Isak at Arsenal. I look at Isak at Chelsea. I look at Isak at Mario. Is he that guy? I don't know. Time will tell. But for me, Victor Osimhen is a guarantee for any football club.
Okay. So talking about the man with the mask. That's our own Nigerian Victor Osimhen. It takes me aback to when he was crying after the World Cup qualifiers, and it makes me very, very, very emotional. I feel like crying as well. But right now, let's move on to Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they're in a very interesting position. They have three cups that they are fighting for, three championships, and Real Madrid, even with having the top players in the world at certain times, they have never ever won a treble. They are in the Copa del Rey, the La Liga, and in the Champions League. So Mr. Osedion, do you think that this is the right time? That this might be the time that Real Madrid is going to take it all and they are going to go home with the treble?
Well. I think this season for them has been up and down in the sense that Madrid have not been hitting that consistency, on that level like the Madrid we used to know. Yes, they're a good side, but they have areas they are lacking. For instance, the defense, and they are not well coordinated with defense, despite having even some of their defenders fit. They still have this. They still lack that coordination, So you saw the game against Barcelona where they beat like 1 or 4-0, and the other one 5-2. You can see that Barcelona were able to open the defense easily. So I think that will be the team to actually stop Real Madrid from winning the treble, because the Copa del Rey final is between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Already, I know yes, it's a final. It can go anyway, but Madrid getting that treble, I don't think so. Even the league, I don't think Madrid will be able to. lay their hands on the league. And then you have the Champions League. Barcelona is still there, and there'll be another threat to Real Madrid if they should cross path. So I don't think Madrid will be able to come up with the treble this year. But they'll give it a try. They'll give it a try. I know, yes, the Champions League is always their thing. They are the favorites to always win the Champions League. But the treble this season is a tough call. So I don't think they'll be able to do it, in my own opinion.
Okay, okay. Mr. Osedion, I want to say something. I for one, I think that Real Madrid, they might be able to do something, but I'm not the sports analyst. You are. So, Mr. Walter, what do you think about Real Madrid, winning the treble? Do you think that it is possible that they are going to win it this season?
Mhm. To be honest, Real Madrid are so inconsistent. That Valencia game, it was such a terrible game if you ask me, because before then, all season Valencia have not won an away game, and they just came to Madrid and easily. Let me use the word easily, because they went 1-0 up. Madrid equalized and they will score the winner. So yeah, it was an easy victory. So I don't think it will be this season. I don't. Ancelotti, for how good he is as a manager, Ancelotti has never retained the title. For how good he is as a manager, he has never retained the title, both at Chelsea, AC Milan, and at Real Madrid. He has never, even at PSG, he has never ever retained a league title. So I don't see that changing, because they are coming up, they are fighting against this Barcelona team that I think is the best Barcelona team I have seen in recent years. Man, they have this young, fearless, hungry set of players that they can beat you up. You just have to be ready. You just have to come prepared. You just have to bring the A game, because if you lose concentration for a second, this Barcelona team can beat you up and all of that. So yeah, I don't see Real Madrid winning the treble. I don't see them winning the La Liga. Of course, for the Copa del Rey, they will play Barcelona in the final. And we've seen what Barcelona did to them the first 2 times already this season. So it's going to be a good game. If I'm to make a prediction, I see Barcelona will take the game. Barcelona will win that. But if there is one trophy, I am confident that Real Madrid can actually win this season. If there is one trophy, I think they will win this season is the Champions League, because that is their best right. That is where I don't know. Maybe if they hear the hand thing, maybe if they just have this belief. They just have this Real Madrid.
Mr.
They
Walter,
cannot
sorry, please, can you be audible?
Okay, I was speaking about Real Madrid. I think there was one of the trophy. If there's one trophy I'm sure Madrid will win this year, is the Champions League. I ruled them out of the La Liga. I ruled them out of Copa del Rey. But the Champions League, they just have this mentality that we are Real Madrid. We can win. We can. This is our bet, right? So I think they'll play Arsenal next, which I think they will beat Arsenal. I'm not among those people that think Arsenal will beat Real Madrid. No, Real Madrid will beat Arsenal. Maybe not in the first leg. Maybe they might lose today. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is Real Madrid will go through to the semi-final. That's for a fact. Then I think they can take it up for there. So I think if there's a trophy they can win this season from the three they are currently competing for, is the Champions League. I don't see them winning La Liga, and I won't put my money for them in the Copa del Rey, because they are facing Barcelona. But guess what? If they have to face Barcelona in the Champions League final, I will put my money on Real Madrid, just because it's the Champions League. If they are bet right, it's when they believe it's the biggest. It's when they want to perform. It's when their players decide to step up and be counted and all of that. So yeah, I don't think. Back to your question, can they win the treble this season? No. Capital letter no for me.
Okay, okay. So, Mr. Walter, hold on. But Mr. Osedion Leo, Mr. Walter said something about Ancelotti, but in their last loss against Barcelona, he spoke about that after this loss, that it is there was a word he used. he said that that Real Madrid should kiss the cup goodbye. And I was surprised that how can a coach of a team say this? So do you think that this is a psychological game that he's trying to play? Do you think he's trying to make Real Madrid calm down, or he's trying to put the fire? Do you think he's trying to put the fire in his own players, or he's trying to make Barca sit back and relax a little bit? Because when he came out with that statement, social media was on fire. The Real Madrid fans were upset, and some seemed to side with him. So what is your thought on that statement, Mr. Osedion?
Ancelotti is a good coach, but sometimes he lacks these tactics. He lacks that drive in the players. It's all about mentality. It's all about shaping your players to think certain way, to show effort in any game they are playing. And you can see sometimes Ancelotti is relaxed or is clueless, like you saw in that Barcelona match. He did not have any idea. That's the twice they played Barcelona. So he knows the kind of team Barcelona is. So, and he knows this league. It's it's not going to be easy. Barcelona is not going to give up on this league. Madrid were leading at the time, and
I
all of a
agree.
sudden Barcelona top. So he knows that the way he actually the way he actually carries his team is not doing enough, and maybe the players too, their mentality is just okay. Anything the coach says, they don't really put in much effort.
So
Maybe
what you
because
are
they've
saying is
achieved
that
so much.
Ancelotti's mindset might be rubbing off on his players.
Yes, that's what I feel,
Mm.
because he knows Barcelona are actually going for that title, and there's a very high possibility, there's a high chance that Barcelona are winning. So he knows that, and that's why he's saying, okay, I think this is over. We can't even compete for this league again, despite it just being 4 points gap. But he shouldn't be like that, because we saw a case like that with the Chelsea coach, where it was like, we are not going for we're not going for top four, we're not going for the league. We just won 3 points. So people actually thought it was just like a bit. You understand? Like, okay,
Yeah.
let's just say that, like mind games. But we know what we're doing. We're targeting. But you saw at some point that those weights started affecting the players. So things like that will always affect the players, because it's what you constantly tell your players. That's what will become part of them. That's what's going to shape them. That's the mentality we are talking about. So if he actually said, "Oh, okay, it's 4 points. We didn't play well today against Valencia. We made one or two errors. I believe we'll always come back strong." You are telling your players that, okay, yes, you are not actually telling the press that, oh, we still have a chance of winning the league, but you're actually giving them that assurance that people can come back better. Or just saying goodbye to the league, like, no, now, come on. How do you think many of your players would feel? You understand? It's not every player that have that strong mindset of, okay, yes, despite this loss, we can let's get back. If the coach, which is the head of the team, can actually say that, how much more will the players feel? What will be in their minds? So, way coaches actually approach the players, the tactics, and everything is very important, no matter what. It's like I said, there are some things Ancelotti lacks. Yes, he's good coach, but you can see there's some certain area where he lacks, and that's what is weakening his team. So he needs to
Okay.
buckle up and work hard.
Okay. Mr.
Yeah.
Walter, do you think what Ancelotti said about his team kissing the cup goodbye, do you think it was reverse psychology, or he actually meant it?
Either way, whether it's reverse psychology or he meant it, it's actually a poor statement. Truth of the matter is it's a poor statement, and you shouldn't say that, because if you want to use a reverse psychology, you can actually word it better, or say it better. But just coming out to say they can kiss the league goodbye, it's just 4 points. 4 points with, I think, 7 games to go. That is nothing in football. 4.7 games to go. That's Barcelona 2 defeat, and we're talking about Real Madrid being champions again. And guess what? They still have to play Barcelona. So yeah, it's still in Real Madrid. It's still in both of them, and I don't think anybody has run away with the trophy yet. So him coming out to say that probably it was out of frustration or out of him, maybe he couldn't process or comprehend the result. I get him. Because immediately I saw the game, I just I said the same thing, but I'm not the manager of Real Madrid. I'm just one sports journalist somewhere in Nigeria that has never been to Bernabeu before.
One big
So
sports
I all
journalist. I'm taking you to Bernabeu, don't worry.
the time will come. But I've never been to the Bernabeu before, so I was in my room when I saw the game, when I saw that they got Madrid with no feeling this title again. So I'm allowed to say it, but not Carlo Ancelotti, because these things can affect your players, can affect the mood and all that. But it's what it is. But I don't think genuinely, because when Barcelona drew again in the night, I was like, okay, Madrid has done this. But when they lost earlier, I thought they lost it. So I don't think Madrid is totally out of the title race. I don't think they can kiss they should kiss the league goodbye. I think it's still on, man. It's still in their hand. They still have to play Barcelona. That's 3 points. If they win that, it is 1 point remaining. So they'll be playing back card draw and they win all their games. So yeah, I am certain I can tell you this for a fact. If Madrid were to win their remaining 7 matches, if Madrid were to win their remaining 7 matches, they will be crowned La Liga champions. But now the question is, can Madrid win all their remaining 7 matches? No, they can't, because they've shown signs of sluggishness, sign of um of how do I put it this season, that teams split, two teams can just come and hurt them or take a point or
Yeah, they are
three
showing a
points
kind of
from them.
lackadaisical attitude to me.
Lackadaisical attitude, yeah. So they've not been really, 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 really on it this season. Maybe they want to focus on the Champions League. I don't know, but like I told you, the title race is still on. So it was a poorly worded word by Carlo Ancelotti, and no manager should rule out his own team with just 4.7 games to go. Manchester United, Manchester City, I can never forget 20. The last time I cried, football made me cry. I think it was 2011, 2012 season, or 2011, 2012 season. 4 games, 3 games to go, 3 games to go. Yeah, Manchester United, or 4 games to go, we are leading Manchester City with 8 points. 3, 4 games to go, we're ahead of City with 8 points. On the last day, Manchester United played Sunderland, City played QPR, and guess what? United City won the league. 4 games to go, 8 points. It counts for nothing. And at the end of the day, City won the league with that last Aguero kick. So I tell people it's not over. I am surprised that what's it called, Arteta. I'm so surprised by Arteta's approach in Arsenal's last game against Everton. Have you given up on the title? Liverpool ended up losing their game against what's it called, against Fulham. So if Arsenal had won that game, if Arsenal had won that game against Everton, that would have been 9 points with 7 games to go. And in football, 9 points is nothing. So they have to focus on the Champions League, which I don't think they can win. So I don't count until it's over. It's not over. It's football. We've seen crazier things happen. So why not? So I
So
just think
so what you
Ancelotti
are
was just
saying,
angry.
so what you are saying is that the tides can change at any time, Mr. Walter Odigia.
Anytime, yes, it takes
Okay.
one result for the tides to
Like
change.
you rightly said, Real Madrid will be praying for Barca to have a draw, and will be hoping that they can beat Barca when they meet them in their next match. But we are going to be moving quickly in a minute. We are going to be moving over to Aston Villa, and we are going to be talking about, Aston Villa, they are still in the Champions League, and we're going to be talking about them having Rashford and Rashford's attitude in Arsenal. Mr. Osedion, just in 1 minute, tell me what you think about Rashford's attitude in Arsenal in relation to his attitude in Aston Villa, in relation to his attitude when he was at Manchester United.
You can tell, players have a way of behaving, especially when they meet maybe a new coach or whoever is in charge. Sometimes players be like they have this ego. The coach is not supposed to tell them this. The coach is demanding too much. You can see that the case of Rashford. He met with a new manager, Amorim, and he didn't like his attitude, the way he was playing, the way he was even like, coming back to defend. Those are the kind of things a player needs to do because you're part of the team. So when he decided to make that transfer, and all of a sudden he felt calm, maybe because Emery wasn't too demanding, and or maybe he was able to have a balance. You can tell now that Rashford is actually trying to pick form, and it looks like, yes, he's actually putting himself in order, having
Okay,
that.
okay. Thank you. That's lovely, Mr. Osedion. Mr. Walter, in 1 minute, tell me what your take on Rashford is in relations to his performance in Manchester United and now at Aston Villa.
Yeah, like Mr. Osajumo rightly said, it's all about the coach, how the coach sees things, how the coach wants you to react, how the coach wants you to play. Maybe Rashford at Manchester United felt Amorim was demanding too much, and at Aston Villa, I trust Emery to demand too much, but there's a way you put your demand. There's a way you put your message. Your message has to be clear. I would like to you as a fan or as a supporter of Manchester United. It's just recently I'm seeing message, but I don't understand what Amorim has been asking of most of these players. So maybe Rashford was confused and he didn't want it to be there. Right now, he knows he has to give his best. He cannot sulk. His attitude has to be upright, and he has responded very well with about 7 goal contribution in 11 games. So yeah, that's what has changed. The attitude has changed as a result of the
Okay.
environment, the manager. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I like the fact that you said that now Rashford sees that he has to give his best because he's playing with a new manager. So that takes me to the part where I have to thank you, Mr. Walter Odige, and Mr. Osedion Leo, for giving me the best part of you today and giving me this opportunity to have you guys on my show. So thank you so much for coming on our show. Thank you so much. This is P&B Sports
Thank you.
Show. I'm Arokotom. See you next time.